All right, welcome back. So here at Sterlingshire Homestead on a nice day, we're in the middle of fixing our deck because the way it was done, the only thing that was holding on this end board on the deck was about 6 nails, and that's not safe. That deck board there could have literally popped off while a bunch of people were up there, and we could have killed people because my builder didn't do it right. So we went back through and we married up another board underneath there. So there's 2 boards there, and we screwed that into the ledger, and so that'll hold it. And then I took 4 5-inch structural galvanized screws and ran it in so that board physically cannot pop off the edge of the thing. It won't go out towards us, which is the point. You should put screws in it. And then over here on the right side where it's secured to the beam, they have some screws. They've got 4 screws in, but they don't have a nice big structural screw in. So I put a structural screw in with a big galvanized head on the top. You can see that gold piece there that holds that in and keeps it from popping out. I don't understand why they didn't do that in the first place. So now we're going to put a corner brace on there, so it's married up, plus there's a corner so it can't fall down, because you don't want it to be downloaded with nothing. And then the other thing we were fixing up was this married up beam here too. You know, I told you guys this one it had a big crack in the middle of it. We fixed quite a bit of that, and there's still some crack in the middle of that, even though it's just married up. But it was separating so bad because they didn't have any screws holding this piece together here. So we put in, this one, yeah. So I put a corner brace in so it can't pop out. Put a corner brace in over here so it can't pop out. And then I took some of those rigid structural screws and screwed it in every foot so that we've got something to hold that up. And here's what I mean. I'm going to show you on this opposite one, on the other side of the deck here, what I'm talking about for this. So you've got a beam here, and you see how split this is. Like, that's terrible. That's more than a 1/2 inch at this point. You've got a beam here that's split. Yeah, it's a double beam here, but they have nothing from preventing this here from popping off, or this one from just falling off the end. That's terrible. And it's the same thing on this other side. What are they holding it in with? Oh, the grandiose 5 galvanized nails holding that on from popping off the end. Here we did okay. Like, they have 4 structural screws that went in, and they're going to hold that into the beam. That's what should be done over here. But they didn't do that. So I'm in the process of fixing that, even though I shouldn't have to. So that's what we got going. The other thing that I've been noticing, underlayment has been peeling off. My wife came and put that on. Maddie, sorry, I shouldn't say my wife. Well, my wife, either way. And then we've had, on a couple of these, the tape for the window. You can see this window here, the tape is pulling off of the window. Like, that shouldn't be happening either. That should have been stapled down and held nice. So a lot of weird things going on that shouldn't have even been happening with this house. So we're in the process of fixing that. Dad and I are out here. We're gonna marry the rest of this together, get our corner braces in both of these, and then we got to do the same thing on the front, because also you see there's a big crack in the front here too. There should not be a space that's that big all along every single one of these beams. Big crack here, that should be married up closer together. Another big crack here, should be married up closer together, especially on the end. It's way separated. Sorry for the not very still video. So we're in the process of doing that. We'll get that all done and we'll come back to you. See you in a bit. So we finished this one up, got that corner bracket in. You can see that up in there now with galvanized nails. And we're in the process of also taking care of all this underlayment that just keeps blowing off. It keeps ripping right through the staples, because the staples that were used are not the staples that I bought for the project. I had cap staples that I asked them to use for this, my builder, and he did not use the cap staples. And so I have underlayment also that is blowing everywhere instead of staying where it's supposed to be, keeping the house dry. So we're going to tape that up now. I'll be right back. Give me the small one for this. So tape that all up. For now, it'll hold that on, hopefully. And then we're gonna work on this corner after we get the ladder set. So this is what I'm talking about. That's not married up. You can see right through to the ground. And so instead of this board holding anything, it's literally doing nothing. And the one that's underneath sits right in here. It sits right here. And they don't have it locked in anywhere. So what is holding this second board in? Nothing. 5 nails. So we're gonna fix that right now. We're gonna put big structural screws in that are the size of my fingers or bigger. I think that's a good 3.5 inch rigid structural screw. And we'll marry this right into the board here. We'll put it in, they'll lock the boards together, and then we'll get one of those corner braces in. This should be done too now. So give me a bit, we'll get this done. All right, we sucked that board right together with these screws. That's exactly what we were looking for. The bottom and the top no longer have a crack. You can see that now. Because we have, I don't know, 10 rigid structural screws in there, it should not take that from the homeowner to get that done. So we're gonna take care of that. We'll take care of that and put the corner piece in, and then we'll come back to you. We'll probably try and get the front of this on too yet today. All right, and so we're in the middle of deck project, and before it gets all winded out here, we're fixing the underlayment that should not have been blown off in the first place. Mama's up there stapling and putting tape on. If cap staples were used instead of the staples we got on here, I'll show you what we have. They're just standard staples. Instead of using standard staples, if they would have used cap staples, this wouldn't have been blowing off. And it's blowing off in several different spots here because it wasn't done properly the first time. So we're getting this piece secured, so hopefully the rain doesn't have any issues. Mom's up there being a boss and wrapping tape around corners and doing her thing. And Dad and I are here securing the fort so nothing pops out. And then we'll move the ladder over and get that other piece before the rain comes here in 4 or 5 hours. So hopefully that'll help. So we'll come back here in a bit. So storm rolling in. We got most of the things outside that we needed to get done. Maddie actually had a brilliant idea and opened the window up here to restaple the corner of that bit down. So we stapled that down so it stays. And then the other thing we did here, Mom did, I showed you she was up on the ladder, and that's all we can reach of that panel. So if it gets wet, because my builders have my down payment money, I don't have any other way to take care of that. So there could be a bunch of water damage that my builders are responsible for here because they never did their work. So here's hoping that, and it's looking like with this storm, the wind is going to blow this way, and hopefully the eave should protect it with that drip edge. Or that's not the eave. Or is that the eave? I don't know what it's called. But hopefully the overhang will protect that with the drip edge. And if the wind is blowing towards me, or towards us as the camera, it'll hopefully not get anything wet in there. Because there's no overlap. Even though that was supposed to be overlapped, you can see it bunches up and it actually goes underneath instead of overlapping the way it's supposed to be done. So, got those things squared away. It's getting too windy to be working outside now, so we're going to postpone working on the deck anymore. Although, I can kind of show you guys what I'm talking about maybe from this rock. There is, like I was saying, there's no, there is no staples or anything that was in there up until we put all these structural pieces in. So as we're looking at that, you can see there is no way that that deck would hold itself on up until we put in what we put in. So I'm happy we did what we did, but we shouldn't have had to do that to get this to sit the way it's supposed to. So I think the builder we hired was subpar, that's for sure. I'm hoping nothing else collapses there either. All right, so we'll come back to you when we do more work inside. For now, we're gonna call her good. All right, back outside. No more storm clouds. For now, there's supposed to be some later in the day. They all kind of passed off that way, you can see. And another joist, just showing you that you can see the ground through this joist here. and it wasn't cut right. So we're gonna see if we can't. It's got the brace in it, right? But the brace isn't put on very well, and it's a tiny brace. It needs to be a bigger brace. Yeah.
What's the bit in?
So we're gonna fix that up right now. Be right back. Okay, so putting up other things on the deck, I noticed this. If you look, get a good shot, are there any screws in that holding that on? No. Is there any joists on there? No. The only thing that is holding this board on, a structural 2x12, is the deck boards that I screwed into this back in November. So not only is there not a joist on it, and not only is there not a joist that was even installed improperly that you could throw a quarter or two through, but this one doesn't even have a joist. People could die from that. If you're gonna build something, do it right. Man, that makes me mad. So now it looks like we'll be on the ladder again. Thanks, Maddie. Putting a joist hanger in, because it should have been in to begin with. If your construction crew cares about their work, it would have been done right. And even marrying up boards, that's a small thing, but this is a huge thing. Forgetting a joist could kill somebody. Right?
Dang right.
Okay, we gotta go fix this now. Be right back. Okay, that's what that should look like. Let's go up another step. Instead of nothing securing it, it should have at least a joist hanger on it. I had a 2x6 joist hanger, and I also put a corner on each one to for sure hold that up. That's actually better than a joist like that. But that shouldn't have been nothing. There was nothing holding that up. That's terrible. If you're one of those people watching at home, make sure that whatever contractor you use is actually an honest person. And might I recommend the first way to go about that is going to your local circuit court access and just searching their first and last name. That would have saved us a lot of trouble. All right, so now everyone has a joist hanger. And now it all works the way it's supposed to. So now Mom's putting screws up on the deck. And hopefully at this point, we can start putting posts up for deck railing. We'll see how that goes. We'll come back to you here. And when the day is done, you set up an air mattress to hang out because it's easier than going all the way down to the tiny house. Worked till late. Now we've got a setup there. Or in my mom and dad's case, going all the way back to Green Bay. And then the queen size bed in the master suite with the dog and the dog bed in the corner. Yep. So air mattresses, a fan. The low is what, 46 tonight?
Yeah.
And then we've got a light that runs here for at night. It's our rope light. So we leave that one on so people can see if they need to use the restroom, and we're good to go. So we'll sleep again and do a bunch more work tomorrow morning, and then we'll come back to you. And Anna's going to town on that toy. Right, Anna? Yeah, she's too busy. All right. Popcorn and bedtime. See you in a bit. Tomorrow morning, that is. All right, so our scaffolding worked. We moved everything around. Deck is all squared away. We did not get posts in the deck yet. I'm gonna go up here. I wanna show you a couple things we did. The upstairs sconce lights, we got some of those in. You can see the boxes here and here. Got another one there, another one there. Let me zoom in for you. You can see those boxes. And we have to put a few more in. The fiberglass boxes, unless you're a 100% dead shot and know exactly where it's going to go and drill it out beforehand, sometimes don't work great. So we were having to redo a couple things to get it where we wanted. A lot of our heat boxes got in thanks to my mom and Maddie. You can see all those up here, those box spaces. There's another one here. We're missing a couple yet. They're on special order for this bathroom and our master bath, but we got that in. I put in the attic access, so that would be where we access the attic, kind of in the middle of the space, which is where I think is the best spot. And then if we go down here, of all the things we got done, I'll show you the other heaters. We got the heater in there. We've got the heater in this bathroom. We've got the main heaters to this one here to take care of the living space. And then, like I was telling you guys, we got the sconce lights where they're gonna go. Scaffolding works great. It moves around the room really easy. We've got the box made to go up there in the ceiling with the ceiling fan. That's what this box is here. And that'll hopefully go up in a week-ish. And then we took the time, now that we had the deck board married up the right way, to actually put the screws in the center of this. So this works out really good and is stable now, as it should be. And so we're doing pretty good there as far as how that lines up and where that sits. So that's what we got right now. And hopefully, and that deck joist, the one on the end, it's that joist on the far end that did not have a joist hanger on it. So we fixed that one up. And now that we got to that point, we're good to go. So we're gonna call it a day because it's gonna be rainy and snowy here in a little while. So I'm gonna close everything up, lock it in, close this up. It is getting colder out. Take our drink from lunch and call her a day today. But we got quite a bit done over the weekend thanks to my mom and dad helping out. And we need some time to charge some batteries and some physical energy, and then we should be a-okay here. My last job is now to lock up and make sure we're all good to go for next time. So, from Isaac, Maddie, and my mom and dad, and Anna, of course, here at Sterlingshire Homestead, thanks for watching our content. Oh, hey, yeah, I forgot. We got all of our basement lights in, too. All of these things. And a couple utility boxes for the water heater room. That's where that goes. Not a lot, just a couple. We got one there and one here, and then 2 lights. And then you can put it on a switch. And then all these lights are in too. We got a couple in all the way going down. Anyway, if you like what we do here at Sterlingshire Homestead, please consider giving us a like and consider subscribing. It really does help the channel. And if you really want to support us, there's a merchandise link in the description for just fun, unique stuff that we make. Some of it is adult censored, some of it is not. It's just a way for us to be creative and express ourselves and hopefully make a little extra money for the channel. So, all right. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time here at Sterlingshire Homestead. Yeah. Looks nice.